My name is Amina, and I'm 34 years old. On March 15th, 2019, I died for 8 minutes. I was the wife of a respected imam in our community. What I experienced on the other side shattered everything I believed. I was born into a strict traditional Muslim family where obedience was everything. From the time I could walk, I was taught that paradise was earned through perfect submission. My father was stern, my mother was silent, and this was the only model of life I knew. I memorized Quranic verses before I learned to read English. The rules governed everything: modest dress, lowered gaze, silent obedience. Questioning was rebellion, doubt was sin. I watched my older sisters marry young and disappear into their husbands' homes. The unspoken understanding was clear. My worth was in my purity and obedience. I was 16 when my father told me I would marry the new Imam. He was 28, educated, respected, chosen by the community. I wasn't asked if I wanted this. Good Muslim girls don't need to be asked. The wedding was elaborate for everyone else, but terrifying for me. On my first night as a wife, I was a child playing dress up in a woman's role. The expectation was simple: produce sons, maintain his household, be his perfect reflection. Life as the Imam's wife consumed the next 11 years of my existence. The weight of being constantly watched pressed down on me every single day. Every action, every word, every choice was a reflection of my husband's authority. My daily routine never changed: Fajr prayer at dawn, prepare his breakfast, cover completely before leaving the bedroom. I never questioned, I never complained. At community events, I served food to the men, sat with the women, and modeled perfect submission. The other women looked at me as the standard. If only they knew how empty I felt inside. The loneliness of a crowded life is a special kind of torture. I prayed 5 times a day, every day for 11 years, but it felt like shouting into a void. I watched my husband preach about Allah's love while I felt none of it. The guilt of feeling unfulfilled consumed me. What was wrong with me? Why wasn't submission enough? I had secret thoughts I pushed away immediately. I wanted to drive. I wanted to choose my own clothes. I wanted to laugh freely. These small rebellions stayed locked inside my heart. Have you ever done everything right and still felt like you were dying inside? March 15th, 2019 started like any other Friday. I was 27 years old. I had been married for 11 years. I had never made a single major decision about my own life. I spent the morning preparing for Juma prayer and cooking for guests. My husband gave me instructions for the day. He sent me to pick up supplies from the market. The drive was a rare moment of being alone. At the intersection, I remember the light was green. The truck ran the red light. I saw it coming. For one suspended second, I saw the massive vehicle barreling toward my driver's side. The sound of metal crushing and glass exploding filled my ears. The impact threw my body like a doll. Immediate pain shot through my chest, my head, everywhere. I couldn't breathe. I tried to pull air into my lungs, but nothing worked. The taste of blood filled my mouth. People were shouting, running toward the car. My vision narrowed. The edges of my sight went dark, tunneling in, and then the pain stopped instantly. I was looking down at the wreckage, at my body slumped in the driver's seat. I could see my hijab soaked with blood. I watched people try to pull me from the car. A strange detachment came over me. That's me down there, but I'm up here. I heard their conversations clearly. She's not breathing. Call an ambulance. Is that the Imam's wife? The surreal realization hit me. I'm dead. I'm actually dead. There was no fear, only shock and strange curiosity. I couldn't stay focused on my body. Something was pulling me away. The sensation of movement without moving overwhelmed me. The world became distant, fading like a dream upon waking. I expected the angel of death. I expected Munkar and Nakir to question me about my deeds. The Islamic teachings flooded my mind. The grave, the questioning, the scales weighing my good and bad deeds. Terror built inside me. Had I done enough? Had I prayed enough? Had I been obedient enough? I entered a space of complete darkness. It wasn't frightening, more like transition. It wasn't the absence of light. It was like I was passing through something. A sense of speed came over me, of traveling somewhere beyond comprehension. I was alone, but not lonely. Time became meaningless. Seconds or hours, I couldn't tell the difference. The voice of my own thoughts began reviewing my life. Regrets surfaced one after another. I never chose anything. I never lived. A pinpoint of brightness appeared ahead. The light didn't just illuminate, it called to me. I moved toward it involuntarily, drawn by something I couldn't resist. The light grew, encompassing everything around me. Warmth flooded through me, not physical, but emotional. The darkness dissolved completely. Entering the light was like being born. I felt him before I saw him. A presence of indescribable love surrounded me completely. Every part of my being, if I still had a being, became aware of being known. I was completely seen. Every secret, every wound, every hidden thought was visible. The shock of having no hiding, no pretending, no performing shook me to my core, and yet there was no condemnation. He was there, and I knew instantly who he was, not from Islamic teaching about Isa the Prophet. This was different. This was God. His appearance was overwhelming light, but somehow a face, a form that I could perceive. His eyes held the universe and held me all at once. The terror gripped me. Jesus? No, this can't be right. I'm Muslim. I should be meeting someone else. My theological framework shattered in real time. But I knew him. Somehow I'd always known him. The love was violent in its intensity, not soft or gentle, but piercing, exposing, healing all at once. Every wall I'd built, he saw through. Every performance, he saw past. He loved the me I'd never been allowed to be. I was weeping without tears, having no body to produce them. The relief washed over me. I don't have to pretend anymore. How do I describe being loved by love itself? Have you ever felt so seen that it terrified and freed you at the same time? He didn't speak with sound. He spoke with truth that appeared directly in my consciousness. His first message to me was one word: beloved. The shock of that word struck me deeply. No one had ever called me beloved. Then he said, my child, I've been waiting for you. Confusion flooded through me, but I didn't follow you. I didn't even believe you were God. His response changed everything. I know, and I waited anyway. I tried to understand what was happening. How could this be real? I had spent my entire life following Islam, praying to Allah, submitting to the teachings of the Quran. Yet here I was standing before Jesus, and he was claiming me as his own. The cognitive dissonance was overwhelming. Everything I had been taught said this was impossible, that this was deception, that I should be terrified. But the love radiating from him was undeniable. It wasn't the conditional love I had known my entire life. It wasn't the love that demanded perfection and obedience. This was something entirely different. He reached toward me, not with hands, but with his presence. Come closer, he said. Don't be afraid. But I was afraid. I was terrified of what this meant, of what accepting this reality would cost me. Yet I also felt drawn to him in a way I had never been drawn to anything in my life. The pull was irresistible. It was like coming home to a place I never knew existed. He said, "Come, let me show you your life through my eyes." I resisted. I don't want to see. I know I've failed. His gentleness surrounded me. You don't know what failure is yet. Let me show you. The review began, but it wasn't like watching a movie. It was like living it again. Every moment was accessible simultaneously, as if my entire life existed in a single eternal present. I saw myself as a small girl, maybe 4 years old. I was playing in the garden, laughing freely. "Look," he said, "this is who I created." The joy, the openness, the wonder. There was no hijab, no rules, no fear, just a child. Being a child, I had forgotten her. I had forgotten I was ever that free. Jesus' sadness washed over me. I wept when they began to cage you. Age 6 appeared before us. I was being told to cover my hair. The confusion on my child face broke my heart. "Why?" little me asked. My father's answer echoed through time. "Because men cannot control themselves, you must protect them from sin." Jesus showed me the lie embedded in those words. I made men with self control. This was never your burden to carry. The weight that had been placed on a child's shoulders became visible. I watched how I internalized shame. My body is dangerous. I am responsible for men's thoughts. Jesus spoke with such tenderness. "I gave you a body as a gift." They taught you it was a weapon. Age 10 came next. I watched myself being struck for laughing too loudly. "I watched you learn to make yourself small," he said. The moments I dimmed my light to please others played out one after another. I saw my mother, her own brokenness, teaching me brokenness. She didn't know another way. She was caged too. Compassion flooded through me for my mother for the first time in my life. Jesus continued, "The oppressed become the oppressors when they know nothing else." Age 13 arrived. I started menstruating. The shame, the isolation, the label of impurity. I was removed from family prayers during my period. Even your biology was called dirty. Jesus showed me the beauty of how he designed women's bodies. The lies I believe became so clear. I am less than. I am other. I am tolerated, not celebrated. I watched myself learn to hate being female. Age 15 appeared. My father announced I would marry soon. I felt my fear, my silence. The moment I wanted to say no, but couldn't formed in front of me. "I heard the no you couldn't speak," Jesus said. "Do you remember what you prayed that night?" The memory returned. I was lying in bed, age 15, praying desperately. "Allah, please don't let this happen." My prayer was unanswered, or so I thought. Jesus said, "I heard you, and I answered, but not in the way you expected." My wedding night came into view. He shielded me from seeing the intimate details, but showed me my heart. Age 16, terrified, alone with a stranger. I felt your fear. I held you through it. The years of conjugal duty, without desire, without choice, without love, appeared. This is not what I designed marriage to be. I saw my husband clearly, not as evil, but as blind. He didn't know he was harming you. He thought he was being righteous. Complex emotions flooded me. I felt anger and pity simultaneously. Ages 16 through 27 unfolded. I watched myself perform the perfect wife, the perfect Muslim, every prayer you prayed to be seen by others. The community events where I smiled while dying inside played out. I saw you. I saw the real you hiding behind the performance. The moments alone in the bathroom, crying silently, appeared. The nights lying awake, wondering if this was all life offered, stretched before me. Jesus said with such compassion, "You were in prison, and you didn't even know the door was never locked." This is difficult for me to share even now. Jesus showed me the dynamics of my marriage with perfect clarity. It wasn't a partnership, it was a hierarchy. He owned you, and ownership is not love. The subtle controls I had normalized became visible: needing permission to leave the house, having no access to money, being told what to wear, when to speak, how to behave. This wasn't marriage, this was authorized oppression. I tried to resist, but the Quran says, Jesus interrupted me. I don't care what any book says when my daughter is being crushed. The moments I betrayed myself appeared one by one. The times I agreed, when I disagreed, the opinions I swallowed, the dreams I never spoke came into focus. I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to help children. Jesus said with such sadness, I gave you gifts. They were buried. Then I saw my daughter. I watched myself perpetuate the cycle. When you taught her to be silent, I wept. The crushing guilt threatened to destroy me. I did to her what was done to me. We arrived at my prayers, all 1965 of them, 5 prayers a day for 11 years. Do you want to know how many reached me? My fear overwhelmed me. None of them. His answer broke me completely. All of them. Every single one. Because I heard the prayer beneath the prayer. You weren't praying to Allah. You were crying out to me, and you didn't even know it. The prayers that were truly from my heart echoed through eternity. Please let me feel something. Please let this mean something. Please see me. I was answering you all along. This moment, right now, this is the answer. Jesus took me to a scene of myself at age 22, perfectly performing ablution. The ritual was so precise, so careful, so fearful. Do you see? You were trying to be clean enough to approach God. The revelation struck me. But you were already clean. I made you clean. Religion taught you to earn. I came to give freely. The Islamic teaching of the scales appeared before us. Good deeds weighed against bad deeds. There are no scales. There's only love. You don't earn love, you receive it. My mind was breaking. Everything I believed, yes, everything. I expected judgment. I was terrified of judgment. Ask yourself right now, when you think of meeting God, do you feel fear or do you feel hope? Jesus continued, that's how you know if your religion is from me or from man. Perfect love casts out fear. He showed me verses from the Bible I'd never read. I came not to condemn the world, but to save it. But I'm Muslim. I rejected you. His response filled me with wonder. You can't reject someone you never truly knew. How could you reject me when they never introduced us? The compassion for my ignorance was overwhelming. My child, you've been living death and calling it life. The years of going through motions stretched before me. You've never made a choice from your authentic self. Every decision made from fear or obligation became visible. You've been asleep. I'm waking you up. The cascade of realizations hit me one after another. My marriage wasn't ordained by gods. It was arranged by men. My submission wasn't to God. It was to human authority. My faith wasn't faith. It was fear. My obedience wasn't righteousness. It was survival. Do you see now? I see, and I can't unsee. Jesus expanded the revelation beyond just me. This isn't just about you. This is about all my daughters who've been told they're less. He showed me women across the world, caged by different religions, different cultures, but the same spirit of control. Wherever women are oppressed in my name, that's not me. Wherever fear is used to control in my name, that's not me. Wherever love is conditional in my name, that's not me. The truth became crystal clear. I came to set captives free, all captives. I asked the question burning inside me, so Islam is wrong, all of it? His answer was nuanced. There is truth in many places, but truth mixed with control becomes a cage. Muhammad sought me, but those who came after built walls instead of bridges. I don't condemn seekers. I condemn those who use my name to dominate. You were a sincere seeker. That's why I can reveal myself to you now. He looked at me with such intensity. Amina, do you want to truly live? My honest answer came out. I don't even know what that means. I want to show you, but it will cost you everything. What will it cost? His answer was devastating. Your old life, your comfort, your community, your security, your marriage, everything you've known. And what will I gain? Me, yourself, freedom, truth, life, real life. I have to send you back, but I'm giving you a choice. You can go back and forget this. You'll return to your old life, and it will be as if this never happened. The temptation pulled at me. It would be easier, or you can go back and remember. You'll know the truth, and the truth will set you free, but freedom is painful. If you remember, you can never go back to sleep. You'll have to choose me over everything they taught you. The weight of the decision pressed down on me. What would you choose? Comfortable slavery or costly freedom? I choose to remember, even if it costs everything, even then, because now I know what I was living before wasn't life at all. Jesus' joy surrounded me like waves. I've been waiting for you to choose yourself. Not just choosing me, choosing the you I created you to be. Go back, be free, help others find freedom. They won't understand, I know, but you'll understand, and that will be enough. And then he touched my forehead. The sensation of being pulled backward overtook me. No, I don't want to go back. His final words echoed, I'll be with you, always, even when you can't feel me, I'm there. The light faded. Darkness again, but different now, purposeful. The shock of having a body again was unbearable. Pain, excruciating pain, rushed back. It was like being hit by the truck all over again. I gasped for air. My lungs screamed as they filled. Voices surrounded me. She's breathing. We've got a pulse. She's back. The weight of flesh after being weightless spirit felt like imprisonment. I wanted to speak, to tell them what I saw, but I was unable. The frustration consumed me. I have to tell you what I saw. I woke in the ICU surrounded by tubes, machines beeping. My husband sat at my bedside, his relief visible, his prayers to Allah filling the room. All I could think was, it wasn't Allah, it was Jesus. Doctors explained my injuries: broken ribs, punctured lung, severe concussion, internal bleeding. You're lucky to be alive. 8 minutes without oxygen, you shouldn't have brain function. The medical miracle they couldn't explain. My silence spoke volumes. Unable to speak yet, but my eyes different. Day 4 arrived. The breathing tube was removed. My husband leaned in close. Alhamdulillah, Allah has spared you. My first words came out raw. It was Jesus. His confusion was immediate. What? Jesus, I saw Jesus. The fear in his eyes was unmistakable. The trauma has confused you. Rest. His dismissal cut through me. No, it was real, more real than anything I've ever known. My husband called for the doctor immediately. She's hallucinating. The medical explanation came quickly. Near death experiences are common with oxygen deprivation. The brain creates images. Everyone was comfortable with the scientific explanation, me alone with the truth. The isolation was crushing. No one believed me. My husband's protection intensified. You need to pray more. Recite Quran. The shaitan has whispered to you. I returned home still healing physically, physical therapy, pain management, but the internal healing had already happened. My body was broken, but I'd never felt more whole. I saw my home with new eyes. The modest clothing felt like a costume. The prayer times felt empty. I went through the motions while everything had changed. Week 3 came. I was alone with a smartphone for the first time. I secretly searched Jesus near-death experience. I found others. I wasn't alone. Others had seen him too. I searched for a Bible. The fear of being caught paralyzed me. I downloaded a Bible app, hiding it in a folder labeled recipes. I read in the bathroom, the only place I had privacy. The Gospel of John opened before me. And you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. I wept in the bathroom. He told me this. He told me these exact words. Alone in my bedroom at 2 a.m., lights off, I prayed for the first time to Jesus. I didn't know how to pray to you. No ritual washing, no specific words, no direction. Just, Jesus, are you really there? The immediate sense of his presence flooded through me. The peace was overwhelming. I felt him, just like on the other side, but now in my broken body. The difference between this and 11 years of Islamic prayer was staggering. This is what I'd been missing. Connection, real connection. I lived 2 lives simultaneously. Outwardly, I was the dutiful Imam's wife, recovered from the accident, back to normal. Inwardly, I was transformed, seeking, questioning everything. The strain of pretending was crushing. I performed ablution while praying to Jesus in my heart. I wore hijab while feeling naked before God in the best way. I attended mosque while my spirit was elsewhere. Have you ever had to hide your true self to survive? It's a special kind of torture. 3 months of living double reached a breaking point. The tension became unbearable. My husband noticed, you're different, you're distant. His attempts to fix me intensified. More prayer, more Quran, more community involvement. Each attempt pushed me further away. The moment of decision was approaching. I found a church website with online Bible studies. I watched sermons in secret. Each teaching confirmed what Jesus showed me. The concept of grace struck me deeply. I couldn't earn it. It was already given. The role of women in Jesus' ministry amazed me. He valued women. He taught women. He appeared first to women after his resurrection. The truth was setting me free, piece by piece. I realized that I can't go back, even if I wanted to. I can't. Month 4 arrived. I reached out to a church through email, using a fake name initially. The fear gripped me. What if they reject me? What if they don't believe me? The response brought warmth, acceptance, no pressure. My first Zoom call with a pastor's wife changed everything. She cried as I shared my story. She believed me. She didn't question. She just believed. The relief of being heard was overwhelming. Small rebellions became bigger. I took off hijab when alone in the house. I listened to Christian music with earbuds. The joy I felt was indescribable. I was coming alive. My husband's concern increased. Arguments about my spiritual state erupted regularly. He consulted other imams. She needs to see a religious counselor. The pressure to conform intensified as I pulled away. Month 6 brought the confrontation. He found the Bible app going through my phone. What is this? The look of betrayal on his face was devastating. You've been reading their book? I couldn't hide anymore. Yes, and it's not their book, it's God's word. The explosion came. You are my wife. You will not disrespect Islam in my house. My response, surprisingly calm, came out. I'm not disrespecting Islam. I'm following Jesus. His ultimatum was clear. You will stop this or you will leave. My answer shocked us both. Then I'll leave. The shock on his face was visible. You would choose this blasphemy over your marriage? I'm choosing truth over comfort. I'm choosing freedom over security. That night, I packed a single bag, no money, nowhere to go. The church I'd been secretly talking to responded immediately. Come, we'll help. I walked out the door. My husband's final words echoed. You'll regret this. You'll come back. My response was firm. I died and came back once already. I'm not afraid of death anymore, and I'm not afraid of life either. Driving away from 11 years of marriage, the terror and exhilaration mixed together. My family's reaction was devastating. Shame, anger, disowning. My mother's tears haunted me. How could you do this to us? My father's rage was absolute. You are dead to us. Siblings were instructed not to contact me. Community response brought shunning, rumors, accusations. The Imam's wife became the Imam's apostate ex-wife. Death threats appeared on social media. I had to move cities for safety. The church family who took me in showed me a different kind of love. Believers who didn't understand my story but loved me anyway. Being baptized felt like completion, going under the water, coming up new like my death and resurrection. I found sisters who'd never worn hijab but understood captivity in other forms. I learned that oppression has many faces. Being part of a community where I could ask questions, where doubt was allowed, where women could speak, lead, teach, changed everything. I had to rebuild my identity from nothing, learning who I was outside of being someone's daughter. Someone's wife consumed me. First time making my own decisions brought a strange question. What do I even like? I discovered preferences I'd never been allowed to have. Wearing colors after 11 years of black felt revolutionary. I felt naked and free simultaneously. Learning to drive without fear, going to the grocery store alone, these simple freedoms felt enormous. So I'm asking you, just as a sister would, when was the last time you did something just because you wanted to? I won't pretend it was easy. The loneliness of leaving everything known was crushing. I missed my mother despite everything. Financial struggles plagued me. I'd never worked. I had no skills. Learning to be independent at 28 was humbling. The trauma responses came: hypervigilance, nightmares, panic attacks. Therapy helped me unpack 11 years of spiritual abuse. The complicated grief was real. I didn't just lose people, I lost an entire world view. But unexpected blessings appeared. Peace in poverty was greater than anxiety in provision. Joy in small freedoms multiplied. Genuine relationships based on truth formed. Being known and loved as myself healed me. Using my testimony to help others gave me purpose. Meeting other ex Muslim Christians showed me I wasn't alone. Finding purpose in freedom advocacy gave my suffering meaning. People want me to hate Islam. I don't. I understand that people are not their religion. I have compassion for those still in the system. They don't know they're caged. I grieve for my sisters still living as I did. I don't condemn Muslims, but I condemn oppression. The nuance matters. Good people can be trapped in systems of control. Where am I now? I have a small apartment, a simple job, big freedom. I'm learning skills, going to college finally. I'm studying to be a counselor to help women recover from spiritual trauma. I'm even dating, which is scandalous. I'm learning what healthy relationships look like. The ongoing healing continues. I'm still unpacking the damage, but the joy was worth the cost. I would do it all again. He's still with me, just like he promised. The difference between religion and relationship plays out daily. Prayer is conversation, not performance. Reading the Bible, I hear his voice. The times I still doubt come. Did it really happen? And then the peace returns. Yes, it did. Because I'm different. He walks with me through the mundane. He cares about my grocery list. The intimacy I never had in Islam defines my life now. He knows me and likes me. This isn't about Islam versus Christianity for me. It's about captivity versus freedom. It's about fear versus love. It's about performance versus authenticity. Jesus came for the caged. Whether your cage is religion, by culture, abuse, addiction, or something else, he's calling you to freedom too. Look inside your own heart right now. Are you free or are you performing? On March 15th, 2019, I died 8 minutes without breath, without heartbeat, without life. But the truth is, I'd been dead for much longer than that. I'd been dead for 27 years, breathing but not alive, existing but not living. Jesus didn't just bring me back to life in that hospital. He brought me to life for the first time ever. I was the perfect Muslim wife. Now I'm an imperfect Christian woman. By my old standards, I'm a failure. But I'm alive. Really, truly alive.